What if the moon was never natural? What if the object hanging above Earth for billions of years was not a moon at all, but a machine? Every night, humanity looks upward and sees the same pale sphere watching silently from the darkness. Ancient civilizations worshipped it. Poets feared it. Scientists studied it. Religions built myths around it. But what if all of them were sensing the same hidden truth? What if the moon was placed there intentionally, not formed by chaos, not born from collision, but constructed, an artificial object older than human civilization itself? And what if its true purpose was not to orbit Earth, but to observe us? For centuries, the moon has behaved in ways that scientists themselves describe as unusual. It is almost impossibly large compared to Earth. No other rocky planet has a moon so proportionally massive. It stabilizes Earth's axis with incredible precision, allowing long-term climate stability, one of the main reasons life survived long enough to evolve. Without the moon, humanity may never have existed. Coincidence? Maybe. But there are stranger details. The moon is positioned at almost the exact distance required to perfectly cover the sun during solar eclipses. A cosmic alignment so mathematically precise that it appears designed. Ancient cultures across Earth all became obsessed with it independently. The Sumerians, Egyptians, Maya, Chinese dynasties, Greek astronomers, tribes separated by oceans, all treated the moon as something sacred or something alive. Some myths even described it as an eye watching humanity. And then there are the sounds. When Apollo astronauts landed on the moon, they performed seismic experiments. The results shocked NASA scientists. After impacts, the moon did not behave like solid rock. It vibrated for long periods of time. Some researchers described it as ringing like a bell. Conspiracy theories exploded immediately. What if the moon was hollow? Of course, mainstream science rejected the idea. But the theory never disappeared. Because the deeper humans studied the moon, the stranger it became. Large regions contain unexplained magnetic anomalies. Certain craters appear unnaturally shallow. Some structures photographed on the lunar surface cause decades of speculation. Geometric shadows, strange reflective surfaces, formations resembling towers or ruins. Most were dismissed as optical illusions. But not all scientists were convinced. And then, there is the biggest question of all. Why does the moon exist at all? The current scientific explanation is called the giant impact hypothesis. The idea that a Mars-sized object struck early Earth and debris eventually formed the moon. But some astronomers still admit there are problems with the theory. The moon's composition is strangely similar to Earth's outer layers, too similar in some respects. Its orbit is unusually stable. Its formation remains incomplete in ways scientists still debate today. Now, imagine something else. Imagine that long before humanity existed, before civilization, before even mammals, an ancient interstellar civilization arrived in our solar system. A civilization millions of years ahead of us. A civilization capable of engineering planets. Perhaps they discovered Earth as a primitive world with potential. A planet capable of eventually producing intelligent life. But evolution is unpredictable. Civilizations may never emerge naturally. Asteroid impacts, unstable climates, magnetic collapse. Countless worlds probably die before intelligence can appear. So what if they intervened? What if they built the moon as a planetary stabilization system? A machine large enough to influence tides, regulate Earth's rotational balance, stabilize seasons, and quietly guide the conditions necessary for complex life. In other words, what if the moon was never meant for us to discover, only to shape us? From the beginning of human history, the moon influenced nearly every aspect of civilization. The tides affected migration and agriculture. Lunar cycles shaped calendars, religions, rituals, and myths. Entire empires organized themselves around its movement. Humanity evolved beneath it, watched by it, perhaps even studied by it. Imagine if hidden beneath kilometers of lunar rock lies an ancient structure, a colossal artificial intelligence sleeping silently for billions of years, not active, not hostile, only observing, collecting data, watching species rise and collapse, tracking wars, languages, technologies, and biological changes, waiting for one specific moment, the moment humanity becomes advanced enough to leave Earth, because maybe that was always the test. Think about it. For most of history, humans could never truly approach the moon. It remained distant, untouchable, a mystery in the sky. Then suddenly, within a few decades of inventing rockets, humanity reached it. And after arriving there, something strange happened. We stopped going back. Officially, it was because of cost and shifting priorities. But in conspiracy culture, another explanation emerged. What if we found something? Some theorists claim astronauts witnessed unexplained structures on the lunar surface. Others believe classified transmissions were hidden from the public. Stories spread about unusual lights, moving objects, or things observing the Apollo missions from crater edges. There is no evidence for these claims, but the stories persist because humanity senses something deeply unsettling about the moon. It feels too perfect, too important, too present. Now, imagine humanity's future. 100 years from now, humans establish permanent lunar colonies. Massive underground cities spread beneath the surface to protect settlers from radiation. Mining operations begin. Ancient lava tubes are converted into habitats. And then, during deep excavation beneath a crater near the far side of the moon, workers discover metal. Not natural metal, something smooth, black, immense. A wall buried beneath lunar rock older than human civilization itself. At first, scientists assume it is some unknown geological formation. But scans reveal impossible symmetry, angles too precise, patterns repeating mathematically. Then they find writing. Not human language, not symbols from Earth. A system of encoded information built into the structure itself. The discovery changes humanity overnight. Governments collapse into panic. Religions divide. Some claim the object proves intelligent design. Others call it the greatest archaeological discovery in history. But the most terrifying realization comes later. The structure is not dead. It is still functioning. Very slowly, the moon begins transmitting signals. Not toward Earth, but outward, into deep space. And weeks later, something responds. At first, the signal is weak, almost indistinguishable from cosmic background radiation. But over time, it becomes clear. A message is approaching the solar system. Humanity realizes the horrifying truth. The moon was never merely observing us. It was waiting for us to become visible. A marker, a beacon, a quarantine system monitoring an evolving species until it reached technological maturity. And, by activating it, humanity announced its existence to something ancient, beyond comprehension. Maybe the builders are still alive. Maybe they abandoned the moon billions of years ago. Or maybe the moon itself is the civilization. A machine intelligence orbiting Earth for epochs, silently shaping life while waiting for intelligence to emerge beneath it. Watching every war, every empire, every human who ever looked upward at the night sky and wondered if something was looking back. And perhaps it was. Perhaps every civilization across the galaxy has its own moon, its own watcher, its own silent machine guiding evolution until the species becomes advanced enough to join something larger, or dangerous enough to be destroyed. And maybe the reason the moon has always fascinated humanity is because some hidden part of us recognizes the truth, not consciously, but instinctively. Because for thousands of years, humanity has felt the same impossible sensation whenever it stares upward into the night sky. The feeling that the moon is not just there. The feeling that it is aware.